I think we can all agree that DDLJ is one of India's most iconic love stories ever made. That climax, Kajol sprinting across the platform, Shah Rukh Khan's hand outstretched, the train pulling away, everyone cheering when she makes it on board. Let's snap back to reality now. In Indian cities today, millions run after buses every single morning. Same desperation in their eyes, same race against time, only this time there's rarely anyone cheering at the end. Why? Because the backbone of our public transport is collapsing. While metros and trains grab headlines, buses quietly carry tens of millions of Indians every day. But their numbers are nowhere near where they need to be. Mumbai's fleet, the smallest in 2 decades. Bengaluru, stuck at 6,800 buses while the population almost doubled. Delhi, the largest fleet amongst our metro cities, but still half of what's needed. And what this leads to is not just crowded buses, but more cars on the road, more traffic, more pollution, more carbon emissions. Road transport already drives more than 90% of India's transport emissions. And buses could be our fastest way to bring that number down. I'm Lavanya, and this is part 2 of our 4-part deep dive that looks at India's public transport system as a climate solution. In part 1, we looked at India's metro dream, world-class but uneven. But today, we're talking about buses, the workhorses of Indian mobility, and the climate hero hiding in plain sight. To understand India's bus story, we need to start with a very simple question. Do we even have enough buses for our cities? The Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, or MOHUA, says cities with over 4 million people should aim for at least 0.4 buses per 1,000, ideally at least 0.6. So, how close are we to that mark? Let's start with Mumbai. Mumbai's buses were once legendary. The iconic red BEST fleet carried generations to work, to school, to markets. It was a way of life. But in 2025, the picture is grim. The fleet has shrunk to just 2,800 buses, its smallest in 2 decades. For a city of roughly 18 million, that's about 0.15 buses for every 1,000 people. Delhi looks better on paper. Its combined fleet of DTC, DIMTS and a handful of DMRC feeder buses stands at around 7,800. But with a population nearing 24 million, that translates to 0.32 buses per 1,000 people. And then there's Bengaluru. The BMTC fleet sits at around 6,800 buses, a number that stayed flat for over a decade, while the city's population almost doubled. Back in 2011, Bengaluru had roughly 0.67 buses per 1,000 people. Today, closer to 0.46. Now compare that to London, a fleet of 8,797 buses for a population of 9.8 million. That's roughly 1 bus per 1,000 people. In other words, London has 6 times as many buses per person as Mumbai, thrice of what Delhi has, and almost twice of what Bengaluru can manage. And that is when it also has a robust metro and train network, which we can't claim to have either. And even by our own MOHUA benchmarks, only one of these 3 cities make the cut. Just about. But despite shrinking fleets, affordability remains the one saving grace for Indian buses. In Delhi, you can ride for as low as 5 rupees. Bengaluru's non-AC routes start at 6 rupees. Mumbai's fares, even after hikes, begin at 10 rupees. Millions of people across cities depend on buses every day. The daily bus ridership in Delhi is approximately 25 lakhs. That is 10% of the population using the bus. The current daily ridership of the BEST in Mumbai is 20 lakhs. That's roughly 11% of the population. This has actually come down from a daily ridership of around 30 lakhs before the BEST hiked its fare in April of 2025. And the daily ridership of BMTC is 40 lakhs. That's roughly 27% of the population. For millions of daily wage earners and students, this isn't just convenience, it's survival. And for women, free bus schemes in Delhi and Karnataka have been game changers. They have shown a massive increase in women using buses. Women's share in daily ridership was up 20% in Delhi from 2019 to 2023. They have given women greater access to jobs, education, and even healthcare. Buses aren't just cheap. They are our best shot at cleaning up transport through electrification. Delhi here leads the way with nearly 2,200 electric buses. Bengaluru isn't far behind with 1,436 electric buses. Mumbai's BEST has 875 electric buses, about a third of its total fleet, and plans to go fully electric by 2027. Electric buses cut tailpipe emissions to zero, and switching to electric buses could also help cut greenhouse gas emissions by about 35%. Picture this: buses, but fast. Dedicated lines, priority at traffic lights, quick boarding, metro-like efficiency at a fraction of metro cost. That's bus rapid transit. Bogota does it, Guangzhou does it, Jakarta does it, even Ahmedabad and Pune do it. Delhi? We tried it. Back in 2008, Delhi built a 5.8-kilometer BRT corridor. It worked for bus riders, but enraged car owners, so yeah, we ended up scrapping it. Plans for 14 more corridors? Gone. Mumbai and Bengaluru flirted with the idea but never committed. And so, a proven climate solution sat on the shelf. The question now isn't just do we have enough buses, it's do we realize how powerful they could be for our future? Because when it comes to addressing climate change and making our cities more livable, buses aren't just transport. They are the unsung heroes. And that's what we explore next. And hey, if you're finding this breakdown useful, please hit that subscribe button. About 95% of you haven't subscribed. It really helps us in bringing these stories to you every week. Let's go to chapter 2 now. A single bus can carry 30 to 50 people, sometimes even more. That's 30 fewer cars on the road. 30 cars worth of space. I don't need to tell you the impact it can have on easing up traffic. But it also saves 30 cars worth of fuel and 30 cars worth of carbon. Now multiply that by thousands of buses across a city, and you start to see why buses aren't just a transport hack. They are a climate solution hiding in plain sight. A car trip emits around 121 grams of carbon dioxide per kilometer. On average, the car occupancy is considered to be 1.5 for private cars, and that gets us to around 80 grams of carbon dioxide per passenger per kilometer. According to a study on life cycle assessment of passenger transport for India by the International Transport Forum, a diesel bus generates roughly 42 grams of carbon dioxide per passenger per kilometer. CNG buses are similar, about 40 grams. Switch to electric and this drops further, 24 grams on today's coal-heavy grid. And if powered by 100% renewable energy, this number falls to just 6 grams. From 80 grams to 6 grams. That's massive. So now you know why we say that buses are climate solutions hiding in plain sight. Buses are also faster to deploy. Don't get me wrong, metros are great, but they take years and thousands of crores to build. And they may not be the right solution for every city. New bus routes, you can add shelters, adjust schedules, lease buses, all of this in months, if not weeks. And unlike rail, buses can adapt. Routes can evolve as the city grows. Metros serve major corridors, but buses, they reach everywhere. Deep into residential areas, into industrial zones, to the edges of the city. Even with world-class metros, we'll still need buses for last-mile connectivity. The tragedy? We've treated buses as an afterthought, the leftovers in our transport budget, the workhorses without glamour, even as they move tens of millions daily. But if we flip this mindset, buses could transform Indian cities faster than any metro ever could. This was the Climate Brief. Stay tuned with us for part 3 of India's commute crisis.